Biopsychology for Mphil clinical psychology is one of the important components where you might miss on some things and you might not miss on some things. But make sure that in biopsychology you don't miss any of the question which can hamper your marks negatively, because in rinpas we are having minus negative marking as well. Now, what does question number 23 says? The link between nervous system, the one component of your body, as well as the endocrine system, one component of your body, is possible through. Of course, you will answer this question correctly, and that is what? That is option number A, C, B, or D. What do you think is going to be the correct answer? Think of it in quickly in your head, and the correct answer is your option number B, hypothalamus, which is also considered as a big boss on psychoprofessorclinical. Okay. Now, why does corpus callosum, reticular formation, and cerebellum is the wrong answers? That is what we are going to explore in this particular video. And also in neurons, axons are insulated by option number A, nerve fiber or nerve fiber, ganglion, Sylvian sheath, and myelin sheath. Even though the spellings are wrong, but you have to mark correctly because you want to take admission, you want to become a clinical psychologist. They don't want anything from you. Okay, it is you who is responsible that you mark correctly. You don't miss on the not sleeping mistakes, spelling mistakes, and you don't miss on anything. Okay, and this is who, this is you, and as you can see on your screen, this red one differentiate between your left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. Okay, now as I speak about this left hemisphere and right hemisphere, then you should also take care of that what is the proper functioning of these hemispheres, which is dominant attributes of this left hemisphere and what are the dominant attributes of your right hemisphere. Everything is given where? It's given in the C book for your Mphil entrances. That is more than enough. Now this red one is called as the corpus callosum, and it is going to separate between your left and the right hemisphere. Now what you are looking over here, this is the frontal lobe, and this top one is called as the parietal lobe. And let's wait for the, and this side, this right behind your ears, this is the temporal lobe, and this is where your occipital lobe resides. Okay, so this is the frontal lobe, this is the parietal lobe, this is the occipital lobe, and this is the temporal lobe. Now the question arises, where is cerebellum located? As soon as you will move forward to your spinal cord from spinal column, the sacral, CTLS, lumbar, thoracic and cervical region, then you will have two bones, atlas and axis over here. Then you will start having your brainstem, which are referred to as pons, medulla and all those things. Just behind that, in the occipital lobe, you will have the structure called as cerebellum. And this cerebellum is always important for your body posture, your dancing, your skating and all these things. Whenever your body is moving, you have to maintain your balance and coordination. That is the primary function of your cerebellum. Okay, and where it is located? Just in your occipital lobe and just below that, and just where your brain stem is starting. And as you can see over here, this portion, this small one, this small brain is called as the cerebellum for you. Okay, and you can see this is the brain stem coming just behind that, the cerebellum. You can refer to the general diagrams in the NCERTs as well as any general psychology book. But now this image is going to move in your head again and again so that you don't forget anything about this particular video or this particular concept ever in your entire life. Okay, and now when you will move down through this brainstem, you will have your spinal cord, and the correct order is the cervical, then the thoracic region, then the sacral region and the lumbar region. Okay, sorry, this CTLS, the lumbar is first and the sacral is after that. Okay, now this is the correct order. And what one more thing is available over here is that now this image becomes more relevant. Now you know about the frontal lobe, the temporal, the parietal and the occipital. Okay, where you can see this lateral sulcus or sylvian fissure. This fissure is separating the frontal and the temporal lobe. And also this is a dura mater. We are going to study about CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, and this was the recent examination of NET that happened, and the same question DAP, dura, this matter and pia matter was available. So dura matter, you will go inside, and as you can see over here, this is the sylvian fissure, and after that we are having the pia matter. Okay, now you know about the corpus callosum, where it is, how it is and what is the function. Hypothalamus is what? Is the link between, okay, this is the correct answer. Hypothalamus is the link between nervous system and endocrine system. and you have also understood the functioning of cerebellum. Along with that, you already studied about the sylvian. This is not the sheath, this is the fissure, sylvian fissure separating the frontal and the temporal lobe, frontal lobe and temporal lobe. And now we will study about this, and this is very interesting. Reticular formation. This is very interesting, and I can see in every Mphil entrance. I don't know why this RAS or reticular formation RF is important. So what? Somewhat important. So we will go deep dive into this just in a quick span of time. But before that, in neurons, axons are insulated by not by the nerve fiber, not by the ganglion, not by the myelin sheath, and not by the sylvian. Sorry, not by the sylvian sheath, and yes, by the myelin sheath. Okay. So you will spell something like this: myelin, SHEATH, myelin sheath, and in the central nervous system, which comprises of your weight, the green one is always the central nervous system. So in your CNS, oligodendrocytes will make the myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is made up by whom? It is made by the oligodendrocytes. And in your PNS, who will make the myelin sheath? It will be made by the Schwann cells. Okay, Schwann cells, and this Schwann cells is made up of something called neurolemma, but that is not of your concern. Okay, now as if I spoke about neurolemma, then it becomes important for me to tell you about this, because this you might have not seen in your life if you have not studied about biology. So as you can see, this is the first one. What is this number denoting? This one is denoting for your axon. Okay, now it is pretty obvious that you know what is a axon. Okay, like this. So we are looking from the which view? Dorsal, ventral, posterior, anterior. We are looking from which view? Upper section, lower section, whatever that is. Okay, but you know this is a axon. Okay, we are looking from the upper side for general English. Now this is a axon which is coming right in your front of face, and it is surrounded by what? And this second option is what? This is the nucleus. And nucleus of what? Nucleus of your Schwann cell. So but obvious, the third one is going to be the Schwann cell. Okay, and this fifth one is, this is what made up of, and this is called as the neurolemma. Okay, now neurolemma is what? Neurolemma is the sheath of your Schwann cells, and this is the outermost layer. Okay, as you can see, this is the outermost, and all these is, this 4 number is denoting what? This 4 is denoting for your, this 4 is for your myelin sheath. Okay, so this is the, these are the layers and forming a good form of myelin sheath, and the outermost one, the sheath, is called as the number 5 for your neurolemma. But see, neurolemma is not important for you, but what is important is, are they present in CNS or not? And I would like to answer that they are absent in CNS, and that is why is the primary function, I mean the primary feature of your PNS, and that is what Schwann cells are doing. Even though Schwann cells are damaged, they can be repaired, brought back, and your functioning will be done properly. But if there is a damage in oligodendrocytes, then the axons are prone to danger. Okay, but you are not, because you are watching this video co-presented by CC mock test series. Okay, now this option number C is the correct answer over here, myelin sheath. And you also know the all axons are insulated by myelin sheath, in CNS by oligodendrocytes, and in PNS by that neurolemma thing. Okay, now what are ganglion? A ganglion is a group of neuron cell bodies in your peripheral nervous system. Have you understood this? No, you have not. Why? Because you have not seen the black screen yet. So this is a neuron, this is a terminal button, and this is called as the cell body. Okay, we are not taking into consideration the complete neuron, only the group of neuron cell bodies. So now you understood, multiple number of cell body will make what? Will make the ganglion, primarily in your peripheral nervous system. Okay, now you know more things about peripheral nervous system. For the ganglion, okay, we are just removing basal ganglia for a time being. So the primary function PNS is supporting is that it is having neurolemma, Schwann cells, and now this ganglion thing as well. Okay, now I hope it is rooted deep down in your mind that what is a cell body, and if we are having cell body connections, it will be called as a ganglion. Now only left for us to understand is the reticular formation from the very basic. Okay, and if you don't have any idea about reticular formation, make sure that you watch the video till the end. Of course you are going to watch, but make sure to understand from the very basics. Okay, hypothalamus, cerebellum, ganglion, sylvian, and this and this and this, everything is done. Okay, so are you ready? Let's begin. So co-presented by this book and cerebellum is available over here, reticular formation is available, and hypothalamus, corpus callosum. So you know from where the questions are being asked. Now, what is a reticular formation? RF, a system of nerves running from the hindbrain. Hindbrain is what? Your backside. Hindbrain, midbrain, and the forebrain, and through the midbrain. Okay, and this is the one question that was recently came in one of the Mphil entrances. I don't remember exactly what paper that was, but we have solved this in previous video, that it is running from where to where. I think it is Gurugram one or somewhat ihbas. I don't know exactly, but yes, it was there. Okay, running from the, let's just make this pen little smaller, running from the hindbrain suggests this one, and through the midbrain. Okay, it is going till midbrain to the cerebral cortex. And now what is cerebral cortex? It is also given, controls complex thought processes, and it is denoting the frontal lobe, I guess. Okay, or the occipital lobe, I don't know, you have to figure out. And to read, I mean, midbrain to the cerebral cortex, controlling arousal and attention. So what you have understood about reticular formation is that it will start from the hindbrain, move towards the midbrain, and we don't know where it is going. Okay, and the function is controlling of arousal. So what is the arousal? I hope you know this one. Okay, just looking at a pizza, you are having arousal, or maybe a chocolate or pie. And attention. So for attention and arousal, it is important. Okay, now we will deep dive into this. The reticular formation RF, denoted by capital RF, is a network of neurons. So it means there is not a single neuron, it is a network of neurons. Network, it might means billions, trillions, like that. Okay, running through the middle of the medulla. Now we just understood from for the hindbrain, but now we are witnessing middle of the medulla. So let's suppose the question is asking you from where it is coming. It is coming through the middle of medulla and the pons and slightly beyond. Okay, coming through, running through the middle of the medulla, the pons, and slightly beyond. And beyond, you know what it is. These neurons are responsible for people's ability, it means your ability, to generally attend to certain kinds of information in their surroundings. Okay, so in your surroundings, if you are watching this video, then this RF might be responsible. Okay, because it is having your ability to generally attend to certain kinds of information. Now basically, the RF, reticular formation, allows people to ignore constant, and this is where I will tell you, maybe in this chapter or next chapter, I guess in the next chapter there is a, okay, I will tell you in the end of the video. Okay, wait, how this is related to in the next chapter. Ignore constant, unchanging information such as the noise of an air conditioner, and become alert to changes in information. For example, if the air conditioner stopped, most people would notice immediately. Okay, so if the fan is running very fast, and let's suppose there is a power shutdown and the light is gone or the electricity is gone, it is a total lockdown over there of your load shedding, whatever you want to call in your area, and what will happen, your RF will become activate. So next time you are in a air condition, you are looking to a engine sound, and you are witnessing a fan running right in front of your ceiling, I mean in your ceiling, then it suddenly stops. Why? You are attentive, why you are alert over there? Because of this reticular formation running from the middle of your medulla. Okay, so thanks to the RF, now it is important. The reticular formation is also the part of the brain that helps keep people alert and aroused. Okay, so arousal, alertness, reticular formation, medulla running from that middle part. One part of the RF is called the reticular activating system, RAS. Okay, this is not Rajasthan services, this is reticular activating system, and this is important, and it stimulates the upper part of the brain, keeping people awake and alert. So the functioning is almost similar, awake and alert, and it is making what? It is making your upper part of the brain, it is stimulating. When a person is driving and someone suddenly pulls out in the front of the vehicle, that would have definitely have or this situation have definitely happened in your life. It is the RAS that brings that driver to full attention. Okay, so you can imagine, thanks to the RAS. We are not talking about the RF. One part of the RF is the reticular activating system. it is also, and this is a good one, it is also they can ask you simply. Okay, I have seen paper where they are asking about this thing only. Okay, that let's, which of the following will help when a mother hear her baby cry in the night even though she might be asleep through the other noises. Okay, this is what happens, and this is what you have seen and happening. Why? Because of the RAS. So now you know two functioning of your reticular activating system. And done. Okay, we are done with this. Studies have shown that when the RF of rats is electrically stimulated while they are sleeping, they immediately awaken. Okay, so if rats are doing, obviously you and all of us are going to do the same thing. If the RF is, see, this is very cleverly written. If the RF is destroyed by deep lesioning, so you should definitely know what is deep lesioning. For example, okay, by deep lesioning, if we have removed, if we have destroyed the reticular formation, they fall into a sleep-like coma from which they have never awakened. So can you just even think of this thing, that if somebody is going in a state of coma, whether or not this question is coming in your mind, I don't know, but if somebody is in coma, whether or not their RF is activated or not, ask yourself, try to find out. Okay, the RF is also implicated. Okay, they have written only, they have implicated in comas in humans. Okay, so now, but just try to think like this. Okay, and now you can see the hindbrain involved in heart rate, breathing, breathing, arousal, gross motor movements, medulla, pons, reticular formation, cerebellum. This will form the part of your hindbrain. Okay, not the midbrain or not the that one, front brain or what, forebrain. And now let's check what you have understood so far. Make sure that you comment down below the correct answer for this. Ronnie is driving his truck and suddenly a deer pulls out in front of his vehicle, Vandi. Ronnie becomes alert and applies his brakes. His means his truck's brake. Ronnie's alertness and attention is due to which part of the brain? Very difficult question. Reticular formation, pons, cerebellum and medulla. Maybe you have said for the examination and you might be thinking whether it will be the pons, reticular formation, medulla. I don't know, we don't know, and we are going to find out what is the correct answer in the comment section. I hope you liked the video, you enjoyed the video, and you will do the same thing, you will read from the same things, and you will do the same mock test, CC mock test series sponsored by this video. If you want to join in our mock test series, which is solely based on one particular book, you can have the details in the description. Just mail us, take the details, and of course it is a paid one, so make sure that you take it quickly, practice, and the next question is coming for you, which you can answer in just 2 seconds. You will not take a single second more now. Reticular formation extends from forebrain to midbrain, hindbrain to forebrain, and what? And hindbrain to midbrain and left hemisphere to right hemisphere. What is the correct answer? Try to think and answer in just 1 second. And see, in the same paper, you can do now in question number 98. What it is asking? It is asking about a part of the brain that sends signals alert to higher centers of the brain in response to incoming message is, of course, it is not amygdala. Why the in this world we will mark limbic system? What will hippocampus do? And the correct answer is your option number D, RF, reticular formation. One of the function of this is reticular activating or alerting system. Read again, and all the best to you.